Hello everyone, hope we're all good. Big thank you to everyone who likes, shares, comments and subscribes to the All or Nothing podcast with myself, Billy Moore. I very rarely talk about my experience in a Thai prison these days. I've read about it, they've made a movie about it. But there was a time when I witnessed this young lad getting killed in front of my eyes. It was horrible, it was frightening. And at the same time, I was in debt to the same group of people that put the hit on this kid. Now, I don't know what the beef was, but it went off. And this young lad, he had a bandana on, was running past me, right? Pair of flip-flops, you could hear him slapping the floor. He was doing his best to get away from this guy who was pursuing him with a knife. The guy next to me by the library came running out and smacked this kid with a bandana right across the head with this wooden chair. You know, the old school wooden chairs with the metal base. He's hit him. He stumbled. He's hit the deck. The kid behind him, who was in pursuit, had this knife and started stabbing him. You know, and these were death shots. They were going in the neck, in the back, in the chest, in the legs, everywhere. It was just, and it wasn't like in a frenzy. It was cold. It was calculated. You know, every target was a death shot. I was thinking, wow, and I could hear these screams that were inhuman coming from the very bowels of this young man's stomach, right? It was horrendous, and I swear to you now, right, I was watching this and it was like it was happening in slow motion, and there was a crowd, you know, of about 40, 50 inmates surrounding this young man, and all I could hear them saying was Haman, Haman, Haman. You know, I knew enough Thai to understand what they were saying, and it was kill him, kill him, kill him. And it was frightening. And there was a moment there where I felt guilty that I didn't intervene, but it wasn't my shit. It wasn't my problem. You know, if I'd have stepped in, I'd have been on the same floor in the same pool of blood, either dead or fighting for my life. So what happened? And what that did to me, it put me into a bit of trauma. I went back to my cell that night, and every night, week after week, I played that over in my mind in slow motion. It was horrible. You know, I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the screams. You know, and that was only one of many things that I'd witnessed. There was a guy that was, you know, having a fight with someone. The commandos are like the screws. There's only 2 screws to every fucking 1,000 inmates. You know, they walk around with shotguns. They've got like blue shirts that police the rest of the prison. Now, blue shirts are like a trusted inmates, shorts, shirt, set of keys, truncheon. You know, they're just bullies. You know, and this kid's being nicked for fighting. The commandos have struck him in the office. And most of the time, you've got no tops on. They've all got, like, they're all in shorts, just tattoos, dead skinny. There's nothing off them. You know, and it was what? It was first thing in the morning. You had to stand in front of this flag at 9 a.m, you know, to attention and sing the national anthem. That fucking still goes around in my head. Right? It was like a prisoner of war camp. But then there was a little bit of a kick-off, and these kids are being put in the office. Now they're going to get it, fighting. You know, they get put in something called saladang, which is a small, like, punishment cell with about 10, 12 other inmates. It's tiny, you know, and a lot of rape goes on in there, and the horror stories I heard were unreal. So this is where they're heading. I'm standing there in this big, massive queue every morning for a bit of water to get me coffee. I mean, the queue's like fucking, it's fucking down the road. You know, next episode, some kid comes running out the office, blood pumping out of every orifice, just squirting out of him, right? He's got this ice pick to his throat, like that. Took himself hostage. All the fucking commandos are sprinting off. All the blue shirts are like giving him a wide berth. He's standing there. Everyone sings in the queue, scatters and starts like, whoa, watching this. And I've seen all this crap year after year after year in there. And the first thought on my mind was, The fucking queue, there's a gap in it. I can get me hot water now. I wasn't even concerned. And when I shared that with my cellmate in Wandsworth when I got repatriated, that story, he looked at me and was like, what the fuck? And it was only then that I'd realised that I'd become conditioned to the environment, to the horrors, to the life I was living. And I felt different, and I felt like I couldn't tell me story verbally, so I started to write it down. And this is when I read the book A Prayer Before Dawn, and some of the stuff I was writing in there was, I was fucking cringing. I thought, I'm gonna get judged here. They're all gonna get on me, fucking changing my name to Yusuf Muhammad. They're gonna call me this, they're gonna call me that. But I thought, write it honestly, talk about your fears. You didn't win any wars. No one wins a fight. When you got sparked, it fucking hurt and you were on the floor and you saw stars. Tell the truth, Bill. And that will be more attractive than having a fucking inflated ego, lying about fucking, your experience. People get on you. So yeah, just a lot of shit. And that's that young lad who got stabbed in the beginning. He died and was left in that pool of blood. And he was removed from the compound by getting picked up, threw onto a trolley, and pulled out of the prison, out of that compound, towards the hospital, where, later on that night we found out he died on the way. Anyway, I'm sorry for the little bit of a morbid story, but thanks for watching and take care.